What is going on, guys? Welcome back to an early morning here in Houston. It's actually pretty chilly, and honestly the weather has been pretty bad in the last couple of weeks. So since the last upload, we haven't really used the car. It's just kind of been here. But today we are going to go to a car show that is here nearby. There's supposed to be a Cybertruck, so that's pretty exciting. And also want to talk to you guys about a couple comments that I've seen on my previous video with regards to this car and getting rid of it, and just kind of talk to you guys of my thought process on whether I can afford it or not, because a lot of people are saying that I cannot afford it, and honestly affording it is got its own definitions to different people. So I want to kind of break it down for you guys, talk to you guys about whether I think I can afford it or I can't afford it and why that is, and then hopefully hear your thoughts in the comments on that. But for now, let's get this car turned on, cold start, and head over to that car show and try to see what kind of cool cars. That is loud. Those high flow cats really wake this car up. Let's get it out, go get some coffee, and head out to the show. All right, check this out, guys. So this is Ultimate Garage, and they've got some pretty crazy cars out here. So we'll go ahead and walk through, go from one side to the other. But of course, you got your Camaro SS. Really missed mine. A Lotus Elise. They actually have some pretty crazy cars here. But check this out. I think this is an Elise or Exige Evora. Wow, shows how much I know about these cars. We've got a Evora. We've got a Boss 302. Shelby GT500 track pack with the carbon wheels. That thing is crazy. I love the black on black, super sinister look. Got the GT350. This Supra, I actually haven't seen a Supra in this color before. What do you guys think? Got the carbon mirror caps. Thing looks pretty nice. It's like a steel blue, kind of like an equivalent of a steel blue. Got another Supra. This one's a little more modified. Don't see many of these too often. And Dodge Caliber, I think is what these were called. It is. Got the G-Wagon. Those are always pretty cool. GC3. And check this out. Two, not one, but two Z06s. These things are pretty slick. This is a convertible with the black top, blue. Love it, love it. This thing is really nice. And then actually two convertibles. This is a convertible as well. In that ruby red mist metallic with the tan interior. Nice, looking really nice. This red paint just pops. I love the way the red paint looks on these. Definitely really nice. Now here, check this out. ZR1 with the chrome wheels. Man, I love this car. This is that cyber gray. Honestly, this is one of those cars that I definitely want to have in my collection or in my garage at some point. Manual LS9. This thing is awesome. And then C5. This C5 actually looks really nice. I am not gonna lie. Carbon front lip, carbon hood, nice wheels, side skirts. I mean, interior's got carbon everywhere. Fixed roof. They put the wide, like C6 style fenders on it. A little bigger lip, carbon diffuser. Honestly, I'm digging this C5. Looks like they even got like integrated wing on the back. That is sick. Love that, love that. Check this out. We got atomic orange C6 Z06. Now I'm trying to get away from the wind here, guys, but check it out. This thing is beautiful. Manual again. Oh man, love that one. And then we got a C4. So all the generations, should have put the C8 next to one here. This is pretty cool. Check it out. Manual C4. Love the wheels. Love. The C4 would be pretty cool to have as an extra car for sure. Got another ZR1. We got with the LS9. This one's got some CCW wheels. Looking mint. Got the bead lock in the back with the ET Street R. You know, this guy's got a few stuff done to it. Corsa exhaust. I mean, the cool thing about these cars is they came with carbon fiber already on the roof and everything, and basically was the pinnacle of the C6 generation. Whoa, check this out. Got the LSA. This is sick. Hey, you got the clown shoe for those of you guys that know about the BMWs. This thing is actually probably pretty cool. I mean, pretty rare to see these actually. Major League clown shoe with the manual, so even more sought after. And wow, look at this. Now, I don't know much about the old school Porsches, but these things I bet are very, very expensive and classic, hard to find. This is a 1600 Super US Forces in Germany. Wow. 356, Porsche 356. That is beautiful. Not sure what this thing is, but pretty unique as well. Looks like it's a 1960 Autobanchi Bianchina Transformabile. So like a convertible. Look at that historical vehicle from the Bach collection. That is wild. Crazy. And of course, 458. Can't go wrong with one of these. These things are amazing. Last truly naturally aspirated Ferraris. Definitely one of my favorite Ferraris. And then you've got the Lamborghini here in red. Look at that. These garages are cool. You got this. These trucks are pretty cool. These Super Snakes, honestly, are pretty badass. I would take a single cab of these if I could. You've got old school Ford V8. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Another Huracan Evo. This one with the Tiffany blue with the white interior. That is pretty sick. And then the GT3 RS here. This thing is awesome. Look at that massive wing. I mean, it's massive. All carbon fiber. It's pretty cool. Wow, check that out, guys. Look at that garage. This is dream goals here. Got a Demon up on the lift over there. You got a, looks like a green, neon green ZL1 1LE. Old school Corvettes. I mean, awesome setup. These are the goals that we want in the future for us, guys. And to get to that, there are things that we need to do now, and we'll talk about this is why I'm selling my C8, guys, because we want that. The C8 is cool and all. Nice SS. The C8 is cool and all, but having a C8 right now is not gonna help me get to that later. Anyways, carbon everywhere on this Porsche GT3 RS. Check that out. It is freezing out there, but got to see a bunch of cool cars out there, Cybertruck. And now it's time to talk to you guys just about what affordability really means and what it really means to me. And then have that discussion with you guys and talk to you guys about the car, why we're getting rid of it and all that. I mean, I know I mentioned in the past, but there's a few things I wanted to kind of make clear from the comments that I got in the last video. So let's head back home so that we can talk about the car, why I'm selling it, and all the can I afford it talks. So let's head on back. All right, well, had to switch over to the phone here. My battery died, but let's talk about this car here and what a lot of you guys were discussing, talking about, saying I couldn't afford it. Now, the reality is, guys, that I have the company vehicle, my wife's Camry, and then the Denali that you guys see in the back, along with the Corvette. Now, the Corvette, guys, there's a reason that it doesn't really get driven that much, and that is because of, like I said in the previous video, my family's getting bigger, right? So I either go just me and the wife or me and my son, and really don't drive it often. And honestly, with the weather, I don't really drive this in the rain because I don't really want to wash it. I don't want to have to go back through it and wash this thing again, so I rarely drive it. When it comes to being able to afford it, yes, I can make these car payments, and this thing I pay about $1,400 a month. That thing I pay $600 a month, which is actually not bad for a 2019 Denali, full ultimate package with everything, all the technology package, everything. Really nice. I really enjoy this truck, but this truck also just sits here and doesn't get used as much. But I pay $600 for that, about $1,400 for this. So between the two is $2,000 just in car payments, and it's on cars that are the least driven. So guys, for that reason, I mean, it just does not make financial sense to own both of them, but really doesn't make financial sense to own more than just one of these cars that are just sitting there not being used as much. And the Corvette's the one that gets used less, so that is why I'm selling the car, guys. Now, can I afford it? Sure, I can afford the payments and I can make that, and I'm still saving and still doing all that. So it's not putting me in any jeopardy whatsoever having both of these car payments in terms of my day-to-day, my financial savings and all that, retirement and all that. I am still setting all that aside and doing well with that. But does it make sense to afford it is a much different question, guys. Really, the $1,400 that I pay for this car, plus another $100 or so for insurance, $1,500 a month, I could be putting towards either more retirement, which at this point I think I'm doing well there. I'm putting in the right amount of percentages and what I'm expecting. But instead of that, I could be using it to buy more rental properties. I currently have 2 rental properties already, but with the money that I'm paying for this thing in a year of owning this, in the last 2 years of owning this thing, I could have saved up enough to make a down payment on a 3rd rental property. But instead, of course, I got to enjoy this car. And I'm not saying that I regret buying the car or anything like that, guys. I'm just talking about what are some of the things that I could do with the money that I'm putting towards this car, right? So I could have been at 3 rental properties now and been well on my way to being able to get to a point where I am generating enough money in cash flow to be able to go get me one of these things in the future and not have it cost me anything out of my own personal job's income. So that is why I'm getting rid of this car, guys. Not because I can't afford it or because it's gonna put my, retirement or anything like that in risk. It's just because at this point I want to build more than just my 2 rental properties. I would like to get to a point where I am 40 years old and I have over 10 properties. About 7 more years to go, and 7 years is a long time, guys. And one thing that I've realized recently is that even when we're 40, 50 years old, there's still going to be plenty of opportunities to be able to afford cars like these or buy cars like these or other newer variants and be able to enjoy them. A lot of people think, around the age of 20s and early 30s is that, man, I got to get what I can now because, when I'm 40, 50, I'm going to be old or this and that. But really, guys, 40 and 50 is like the prime time for everyone to be able to enjoy and do things that they've wanted to do in their life. Take these amazing trips, all that. if and when you are able to balance out and manage your money to put yourself in those positions. Because truth be told, guys, when you're in your 20s, the jobs that you guys have and the income that we have is only the starting point. As you get older, you start or should be earning more and more money. So all those trips, all the luxuries like these cars that you want to have and that you can get when you're younger are only going to be easier to get when you're in your 40s and 50s. And 40s and 50s are still really, really young for us. I mean, you are still able to do quite a bit in your 40s and 50s. For me, I realize that, and that is why we're getting rid of the car, guys, because I want to set up myself financially to where in my 40s and my 50s I'm earning more than I ever have and generating income and equity in things like real estate and rental properties, to be able to say, hey, I can cash flow and these properties are paying for stuff like this and not my personal job, and just building that wealth, guys. So that is why we're getting rid of the car. Not because I can't afford it or because it's going to put my, retirement in jeopardy or any of that stuff. It's mainly because I've realized that I need to set myself up for another 7 years, guys. That's it. And it might seem like a lot, but it's going to go by very quickly. And my son will be older, my family will be older, and we will all be able to enjoy that 7 years of building more wealth. That is kind of the idea, guys, is get rid of this car, get rid of payments. I don't really have any debt. I don't have any debit card or credit card debt, anything like that. The only debt I have is my real estates and mortgages, and of course these cars. So if I can knock out the cars, then I'm gonna be well on my way to being able to do things like get a cash car, get a sports car, get something cheaper that I can still have fun with and scratch my itch per se, but at the same time continue and build more. And that is what I want to bring you guys. If I leave you guys with anything in this video, guys, it is that there's no rush to getting things when you're in your 20s or 30s, especially things like sports cars or depreciating assets. Because if you focus on building, generating more income and building your assets, things like this sports car are going to be way easier to have in your 40s and 50s, and you will feel less stress and be able to enjoy these things a lot more. So that is why we are getting rid of this car. Not because I can't afford it, but just because it's time to focus on building more assets so that I can buy something like this later on and not have to worry about anything and be able to still do all the other things I want to do, like buy more real estate. Right now, I'm still young, so it's one or the other. Either I buy cars like this and just lose money in depreciating assets, or I try to invest my money in appreciating assets like real estate or other types of assets like stocks and all that, so that I can buy these depreciating assets later on in my life without a worry. So now with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got to see some pretty amazing cars at that Ultimate Garage's car show, and gave you guys the explanation on why we're still selling this car and not because I can't afford it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.